take a look at what I've got here. It's Master Chief with the Nerf Halo Bulldog SG. And this is what the blaster looks like out of the box, so let's learn more about it. So the Bulldog is the last of the Halo blasters that I need to complete my collection, and it's finally here. And what do I think about it? I think it's a really great Halo blaster. There are some nuances though with this. There are some things that we need to discuss, and I think it's worth mentioning. We've seen this blaster a lot before. This is one of those pump to prime cylinder-fed blasters that goes along with things like the Surge Fire, the Shockwave from the Elite 2.0 line, and more recently, the Fortnite DR. The Bulldog fits nicely in with that, and there's actually some features that are missing from other blasters that I rather like about this one instead. For starters, the vertical foregrip is actually super comfortable. I like this a lot. Sometimes what happens if you don't have this extra piece here is it gets a little awkward to prime the blaster. That's not the problem here. You have something that's really easy to prime and fire. It's a smooth action, a little bit short on the travel, but again, I think that's okay. The cylinder here can house 10 rounds of ammo. It's a little light. I think it's acceptable. Again, we are looking at a Halo blaster, which means a couple things. The first thing is that we are going to be sacrificing some functionality for form. When you have a prop style blaster, something that comes from a video game, what you're looking to do is have something in your hands that is from the video game. How close this is from the Halo Infinite line, we don't know quite yet because that game unfortunately keeps getting delayed. However, I would venture a guess saying this is fairly close. The reason I can say that is because the Halo MA40 looks really close to the existing blasters that we've seen in the Halo universe thus far. So we have this form, we have this blaster that is really reveling in its form. On the other side of the blaster, we have some really nice details right there that kind of look like a select fire switch, even though it doesn't do anything. The other cool feature that maybe people don't realize is that there are tiny little iron sights that you can flip up here on the blaster to give you a little better idea of where you're aiming. They're unobtrusive, they don't get in the way of the other tack rail things, so it's a fine addition. We have the same aesthetic that we have with the Halo MA40, which is a predominantly white blaster with a bit of green embellishments, again signifying the colors of Master Chief. We're not going to be getting a gray or very dark blaster. This is a toy, remember. A lot of people don't talk about these, but the darts themselves, bravo to Nerf for these, because it does have the Master Chief green color there, and the white tip on that really matches the rest of the blaster. This blaster reloads super easy because there's plenty of room to get in there and load darts. However, there are a couple spots where it's a little clunky and clicky. Listen to this here. Yeah, so you need to do that to actually fill up some of the spots in the drum here, but it doesn't sound good. I'm sure it's fine. However, you just gotta be careful with it. Don't crank it too much. And then to fire this thing, it's as simple as pulling back on the foregrip, forward, and fire away. I hope I can recover that dart at some point. And if you're wondering, yes, it does have slam fire. So that's what it looks like firing, but how's the performance? Let's take a quick look. So as you saw, some standard performance, some fired a little hotter than that, but I think that's actually fantastic for this blaster for this reason. The barrel is really long on this blaster. You have the dart leaving right at about here and is traveling all this way to get out at the end. The fact that we're still getting some of those standard performance markers means that this actually is a fairly decently powered blaster. So again, we have yet another Halo blaster performing as you would expect from a Nerf blaster, but getting all that incredible Halo detail on this blaster itself. If you're wondering the price of this blaster, what it's coming in at, it's about $35. And you know, it's a little high for what it is capacity-wise. But if you're looking at this from a prop perspective, if you're looking at this from a cosplay perspective, $35 for a fairly accurate game prop is an incredible value. The fact that most people might not even fire this blaster and just use it at conventions when, of course, they come back. And it's a really cool thing to have for that type of Nerf buyer. Me, obviously, coming as a collector and a big Super Halo fan, this was a no-brainer for me, even though it was the last one I did purchase. They also really didn't skimp on features with this. You have tack rails up here, you have a tack rail right here, you have a tack rail right here, you have iron sights that flip up right here, vertical foregrip. The list can keep going on with this blaster, and the fact that it doesn't sacrifice any performance is pretty cool. And to top it all off, you have slam fire there, so you can go through those 10 rounds extremely quick and just lay down some cover fire for your buddies who are hiding behind a chair or a couch. Sure, would have been nice to have like a little toggle here for a fake select fire switch. Sure, it wouldn't have done anything, but you know, little extra details here and there never really hurt anybody. The other thing I don't think that gets mentioned quite often enough is you do get a little card when the game eventually releases to bring this blaster into the game. So I'm really totally looking forward to taking on the Covenant, the Brutes, the Flood, whatever the enemy ends up eventually being with a Nerf blaster. Because I think that's what they're going for. They're going to take the Nerf styling and bring it into the game. So I think that's going to be kind of a fun thing. Who is this blaster for? I feel this blaster is for Halo fans. This is also for cosplay fans. People who love to cosplay in the Halo universe will likely want to pick up one of these, as well as one of the MA40s, and just have a field day customizing these to go to a convention for, I mean, a relatively cheap price compared to some of those custom builds that people do. There can be a case for your just traditional, I like to play in the backyard Nerfer to pick up this blaster. It is expensive at $35 for a 10-round capacity. However, as long as you don't mind reloading the cylinder, but that's kind of easy to do with plenty of room all around. The Halo line has been incredible thus far. With the Overwatch stuff seemingly vanishing from store shelves, the Fortnite stuff still going strong, the fact that we have a Halo game entry into the Nerf collaboration is a really fun thing, especially for me who's been playing Halo, well, really since the dawn of Halo time. So that's what I think about the blaster. Is it expensive? Yes. But does it serve a very specific niche, a specific type of Nerf buyer that would be extremely happy with something as high quality as this? I also think yes. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think about the Halo collaboration below, and specifically, which blaster of all of them is your favorite? And I want to hear that in the comment section. And of course, if you haven't, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications, because I'm posting videos more and more frequently now, and I want to be coming to you with more reviews, as well as just some other more expanded thoughts that I have from TikTok. So that's it. Thank you for listening, and I hope you're as big a Halo fan for me, and I hope we can wait out the constant delays for Halo Infinite, but at least we have some really fun Nerf blasters to play with. Thanks for watching.